Hello. Hello, everyone. This is a test to see if this actually works. You might be noticing the new setup. We have our Dragon Ball Z poster right here because that's a new development. I'm in. Actually, I'm not gonna tell where I'm at. I'm at college. I'm in my new apartment, and it's so exciting and it's so cute and fun and fresh. And I'm gonna clip this here, and It's currently 7 p.m. right now, and I'm filming a YouTube video because I got these mics and they've really just inspired me to be a better YouTuber. And I did just take a shower. I washed my hair. I did my little bangs. I tried to. It's kind of a fail, but like I really don't care. I just wanted to look nice because I feel like I look like a bum in every single YouTube video that I film. But in this video specifically, we're going to be talking about books. Duh. It's going to be a book tag. So what that means is I have a bunch of questions here and I've written down all of my answers. You see it? I had to put it on paper because I use my phone to film, so I can't just like look them up on my phone, which is fine. Don't you love the pink mics? Aren't the pink mics so fun? I love them. I think they're so precious. I got them off of TikTok Shop. They were $5. But it was literally like $14 for shipping and handling, and I'm like, why is it that much money? Okay, let's get started, shall we? All right, question number 1. A book you wish you could erase your memory of and read again. All of my answers are going to come from books that I've read this year. Like I went through my Goodreads, I picked all my books out, and there's going to be multiple books for certain answers. Stick with me. Hopefully you get some recommendations off of this. So a book you wish you could erase your memory of and read again. This one was kind of hard because like certain ones, I don't know if I could read them again just because they were so dense, but the ones that come to mind is The One by John Mars, and that was the one that was about the different point of views of these people that join this dating app, and it's people from all over the world. The reason I would want to reread it is just because like the ending was so crazy and I wish I could have physically read it and not just listened to it, but the people that did the audiobook did a great job. So The One by John Mars, also 21 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand. This is one of my top 3 books that I've read this year. Cried, like I said, like a baby. I want to reread that book so badly, and I wish I could read it again for the first time. Also, I don't have any of these books with me, so we're going to be popping them up right here because they're all back home. I could do a book tour of the ones I have here at college. That could be fun. I think I'm going to do that at the end of the video. Stay tuned. Question number 2. Favorite new character? This was kind of a hard one because I read a lot of books this year. A lot of the books had characters that were just awful people. So I had to like go through and really like find the ones that I really liked. The one that came to mind the most was the book The Maid, and the main girl, her name's Molly, so that everyone calls her Molly Maid. She was just so sweet, and I just loved her character. She was so precious and so wholesome, and she did not have a malicious intent in her heart. And then she gets framed for murder, but she's so sweet and such a kind soul, and I just loved how she thought and how she like spoke with her thoughts. You know what I mean? For instance, she loves Olive Garden, like, a lot. She goes and she gets the tour of Italy every single time, and then I think she gets rosé because that's what Gran told her is what she drinks when it's a celebration is she drinks rosé. So she's on a date with this guy, and she was like, "Well, he said to me today that he liked my clip in my hair, so that must mean that he likes me. Because why else would he take me to my favorite place on earth, Olive Garden?" You know what I'm saying? So she was just so sweet and such a nice person, and she did not deserve the treatment that she received from the people in that book. Molly Maid, she has my heart forever and always. Question number 3. The most surprising book, good and bad, with new releases. I think the most surprising book that I liked that was a new release was Reckless by Lauren Roberts. That's in the Powerless series. It's the second one. A lot of people didn't like this book because like they said it was like a filler book, but like if you love the characters in that series, it's just a little extra tidbit of information of following them around and them just being like, "Oh, I love you, but I can't be with you. Oh, I love you, but I can't be with you." And I'm like eating that up. Jeremy Pierce just texted me. I love him so much. He's so sweet, and I love my boyfriend. Also, our anniversary is coming up. 2 years. 2 years. Clock it. February 10th. Clock it. I expect candies and flowers from every single person that watches this video, not just him. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, so Reckless. Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Because the characters are so in love with each other, and I ate it up. And it's a fantasy romance. So I love a good romantasy. I like that one. And it was a new release. Most surprising book that was bad that was a new release. Unfortunately, Miss Sarah J. Maas, I'm looking at you. It was The House of Flame and Shadow by Miss Sarah J. Maas, which is the third book in the Crescent City series. It came out in January. I literally called out of work to go and read that book and then sat down and read it, and it was so disappointing because there was a certain plot line that she teased in the second book that she did not really follow through the way that we thought she was going to follow through. I'm not saying it's a bad book, it just was very disappointing, unfortunately. Question number 4. Longest and shortest book that you read. Okay, so the shortest book I read was Citizen by Claudia Rankine, which makes sense because it's a poetry book. And then the longest book I read was House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. I think it was like 800 and something. I'll put the page count. I'll put the book here, and then I'll put the page count underneath it of both books. I think Claudia Rankine was like 169, and then I think House of Flame and Shadow was like 890 something. I could be making that up, but I know it was like high 800s. Number 5 was the most emotional book that I read this year. I said The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Oh my god, you know what's crazy is I said 21 summers. Wait, is it 21 or 28? I have 28 written here for another answer. Okay, we'll get to that. Most emotional book I read was definitely The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Miss Addie LaRue is 300 years old. And you're telling me she hasn't gone through stuff, people aren't remembering her. You're telling me you don't have trauma after that. She's been lonely, and the only friend that she has is basically the devil that comes and visits her every couple years. You're telling me she doesn't have issues. So that book tore me up, unfortunately. Tore me up at the very end. Like, was in my car here at school, listening to the audiobook, crying, just sitting there sobbing in my car, which is so funny to me because, like, crying while reading a book I can understand, but just like someone talking to you and you're crying, like, I don't know. So I said that one. I also said 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand. Cried while I read that one. So good, so tea. Also, the last 3 books of the Magnolia Park series. So Daisy Hates, Magnolia Park's A Long Way Home, Daisy Hates, and The Great Undoing. Those 3 books. Cried like a baby while reading those books. So those are the most emotional ones I read this year. Happiest book that I read this year, I'm gonna say Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. Look at me pulling these authors off the top of my head. I know my stuff. Okay, I know my stuff. That one, it was very sweet because I really liked the guy in it just because he was so like nonchalant and just kind of like you did not know what Mans was thinking. I think he also reminds me of Jeremy. That's why. Anyway, he was so like chill and like he liked Shorty and he knew he wanted Shorty. He wasn't out gallivanting on the town. He was there for mission. He wanted to play chess and he wanted to play chess with the best player in the world, which happened to be his girl. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I was sitting in my bed reading that book on my phone and I was like giggling, kicking my feet giggling. So I'm going to say Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. Number 7, the best series that I read this year would be the Magnolia Park series because like I said earlier, great plot line. Oh my gosh, the new Magnolia Parks book came out in January. Still haven't read it. I've tried to buy it at Barnes and Nobles. It's not there. It's literally not there, bro. Anyway, actually super upset about that, but I want to read that this year. Another really good series I read was not the Blood and Ash series, but the one that's interconnected with that one, with Nikos and Serafina. I don't know what the series is called, but I'll put it up here. I read the first 2. I think. First 3. I don't know. I really enjoyed that. And it's a long series, so like props to Miss Girl for writing all that. And the prettiest cover this year in books is gonna have to go to the Magnolia Park series again. Because I'm going to display all of them. We're going to flip through the front and the back, but this specifically the UK covers of Magnolia Park series, not the US covers with their feet with the crazy like design. Those are the best by far. And then the book with my new favorite quotes is going to have to be My Dark Vanessa. Now, that's a freaky deaky book. I know cuz it's like Lolita but like not. I have no words and I don't have the book with me so I can't insert the quotes, but if you go to my video, the 81 books that I read in 2024 part 2, I'm pretty sure I inserted some quotes there. Just trust me on the fact that the quotes were so tea, and Mance is crazy. So the way he speaks to her, the way he talks about her, he's so manipulative and just psychotic, but she goes along with it because she's 13 years old, you know what I'm saying? So My Dark Vanessa, read that book. If that doesn't trigger you, read it. Read that book, and then come and we'll talk. Number 10, new favorite author, Miss Ellen Hildebrand. I read 28 Summers, 21 Summers, whatever it's called, The Perfect Couple. I'm reading The Hotel Nantucket right now. I started it because I was listening to the audiobook on YouTube, and then they deleted the audiobook off of YouTube. Still not over that. So it's gonna be Miss Ellen Hildebrand, and I want to read all of her books now. That's gonna be another goal that I have this year. So Miss Ellen Hildebrand is gonna be one of my new favorite authors this year. Number 11, books that you finally read. I'm gonna say classics here because I'm an English lit major. Okay, I have to read classics. If I want to get into the publishing industry, I need to have read classics, unfortunately. But we have Jane Eyre, Sylvia Plath, The Bell Jar, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Especially Girl with the Dragon Tattoo because that and The Bell Jar, I'm really proud of myself for reading those because Jane Eyre, like, was on my radar, but I wasn't like, I need to read this book. It just happened. I happened to have the opportunity to read it, and so I read it, and it was so good. So those 3 books are gonna be books that I'm glad I finally read. And then books I got off my TBR, Good Girl, Bad Blood. It's the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. Oh my god, I need to finish that series. That's another goal this year. Let me know if you guys want a video. Actually, I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna do a video this year of me finishing series that I have. And I have a couple in mind. That's gonna be the one of them because I read the second one, but I haven't read the third book in the series, and I'm like, it's like an OG book talk book, so I have to read it. Good Girl, Bad Blood. The second one in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series is going to be my answer for that one. Number 13, books that should be made into a movie or a TV show. I would love if they made Red Rising into a movie. Like, if they took the Dune budget, put it towards Red Rising, it would eat. And all of you out there that love Dune but will not read the books, same thing with Red Rising. Red Rising, I feel like would get so much more hype if it was made into a movie. That's just me. And honestly, I would love to see how they do Mr. Darrow's development. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? I would love to see how they'd film that because that would be insane and crazy. And like, imagine the golds. I'm gonna put some fan art here because y'all don't know what you're missing with Red Rising. They have wings. The golds have wings. Okay. So I feel like it's low key kind of like Star Wars. Like I feel like that would be kind of the costume design because they have aliens and like the greens. I imagine like little turtle guys. I don't really know. Sorry, I'm going off a tangent. Red Rising, I want to see that into a movie. And also there's 6 books. So you're telling me there's not going to be a movie franchise? Also, City of Girls. City of Girls, I haven't really talked about it a lot, but I loved that book. It's about this girl in like the 20s or 30s. She's going to this college and then she ends up going to live with her aunt in New York City and she makes costumes for all of these girls in the show that her aunt like has. It would just be such an atmospheric type movie. The vibes would be so cool. And if you've seen Babylon, the movie Babylon, I feel like that would be the same vibe as City of Girls with like the party scenes and the up close and personal scenes. The scene in Babylon where Margot Robbie and the main guy, I don't know what his name is, they're like doing coke upstairs and they're talking about like what they would do if they could just be on movie sets all the time. Like that, I feel like could be like the intimate scenes in City of Girls. Oh my god, I feel like it would be such a good movie and everyone would enjoy it. So I'm gonna say City of Girls. Which book is your happy place book? So a book that you just read it and you're just it just makes you happy every single time. I'm going to say City of Girls. When I read that book, I was just so happy and I just felt like I was living through the main character is like just living vicariously through all these girls that she meets and she ends up kind of getting involved in the stuff that they're doing as well. But I would love to be friends with them and I would love to just experience all that too and not have the consequences of some of the girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, be there for the vibes but not participate. And then best book adaptation of the year. Dune Part 2. Dune, the book, was split into 2 movies. Dune Part 1, Dune Part 2. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. I want to rewatch that movie because I haven't. I only watched it the one time. They did that book justice. They did that book justice because it's a crazy series. It's got a huge fan base. And Timothée, you did a good job, babe. You did a good job. Proud of you. Number 16. Unpopular book you loved and vice versa. So a book that was unpopular that I loved and a book that was popular that I didn't love. So I'm going to say a book that I loved that was unpopular was People We Meet on Vacation by Miss Emily Henry. That is one of her first books that she's written. I loved that book. I think I loved it more than Happy Place, which is one of her most sold books and most popular is Happy Place. I liked it more than Happy Place just because I felt like the characters were such interesting people and I loved their dynamic and relationship and I loved the storyline. So I'm going to say People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. And then one book that I did not love that was really hyped up was Twisted Love. by Anna Huang. I've talked at length how much I don't like this book. There's just no substance. Which, with a book like that, you can do that and it be good. It just still wasn't good. I'm not going to hate on a smut book. I'm not going to, because I myself have read some, okay? But there's a way to do it. And the way that she did it in that one, did not enjoy. Also, another one that I did not love that I read this year was, not did not love, but I feel like it was overhyped, was Fourth Wing. I did say Fourth Wing. I just feel like it was good. It was a good book. I just wish it wasn't as hyped, because I think I would have loved it more if it wasn't as hyped. Does that ever happen to anyone else? Is that like this item gets super hyped up and you just like it makes you hate it? Yeah, girl, me too. That's how I feel about Lululemon. Why is a pair of leggings $180 something? That is ridiculous. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say on that matter. Fourth Wing. It was overhyped, but it was still good, just overhyped. Number 17. Lowest and highest rated book on my Goodreads. Okay, so the highest rated book that I read this year was Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. It is I think it's the fifth book. The fifth book in the Throne of Glass series. The highest rated book. And then the lowest one was Five Total Strangers, which was like about that girl. She was trying to go home for Christmas or whatever, and then she got stranded with these four strangers because she's like, let me just go with these four people. Dumb. Stupid. Number 18. Favorite audiobook that I read this year. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I love Donna Tartt. I love the way she did the audiobook. The way she did Bunny's voice, perfect. Perfect, because Bunny is an annoying little man, and he always got something to say, and the way she did his voice was so good. And the way she did Henry's voice also. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Henry. I'm sorry. Anyway, number 19, we're coming to the end, ladies and gentlemen. Number 19, new annual reread. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I will reread that book until I have marked up every single page of that book and annotated it until there's holes in the pages. I love that book. And Mary, if you see this video, I know you hate the book. I know you do, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get my copy. I'm going to annotate it like crazy, and I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to make you read it. I feel like that would make your experience better while reading the book. Okay, anyway. New comfort book, 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand. She cannot miss. Ellen Hildebrand cannot miss, in my opinion, with that book. It is my everything. It is my new Bible. I love that book. Also love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I read that book in the beginning of the year, but I just remember it was so to read. I want to read more Ali Hazelwood this year. I've read The Love Hypothesis, I've read Love Theoretically, and I've read Check and Mate. I want to read Bride, and then there's another one that she came out with like these people on the cover like hugging each other. I want to read that one too, because I want to know why no one likes it. Also, I want to read whatever else she has out. So we're going to read more Ellen Hildebrand this year, and we're going to read more Ali Hazelwood this year. That is the goal. And those are all my questions that I have, and all of my answers. Look at that, 22 minutes. So this video is going to be cut down to about 15 minutes. That's a nice little video versus the ones I just posted. So sorry about that, actually. I'm also going to give a book tour while we're here. We're going to look at the books that I have, that I brought with me to college. We're going to go through them. And there are going to be some repeats, but it's okay. Okay, you guys like my light that I had? The light. Okay, so books that I brought with me. This is the last book in the Throne of Glass series because I'm almost done with it. Kingdom of Ash. Then I have Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hildebrand. And we're going to move down here. We have The Circle by Dave something or other. What does that say? That is Miss Ernest Hemingway. And then we have Peter, I don't know. I can't see the name of it. Oh, because it's upside down, that's why. Then I have Signora da Vinci. Don't know what that's about. Then we have The Complete Novels and Stories of Sherlock Holmes, Volume 1. Then we have A Thousand Splendid Suns. We have Scythe. We have Babel by R.F. Kuang. Thank you. Shout out to Abby Kozak for providing me that book. We have The Kite Runner. We have Beholding. We have The Liar, The Assistants, The Sellout, 100 Boyfriends, Retold American Classics is that little white one, Jane Eyre, Cleopatra and Frankenstein, The White Van, The Secret Life of Emily Dickinson, Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna, Elie Wiesel, A Mad Desire to Dance, Birdcatcher by Gail Jones, Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Night by Elie Wiesel, and then A Soul of Ash and Blood, which is the potentially last book in the Blood and Ash series. Those are all the books that I have with me. But I'm reading right now, If He Hollers, Let Him Go. I also have some other ones, so hold on. I have Night Crawling by Layla Motley. These books are for class, but they're fiction books. Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. This is actually a school book. This doesn't count. But I bought more for my class, one of my classes, because he was like, I would recommend you guys, if you're going to read these books, I would recommend that you have the physical books so you can annotate them. So I was like, okay, professor, I will do as you command. That's the end of this video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Can y'all hear that? Hope everyone's okay. Love you all bunches. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I'm really trying with these YouTube grind. It's fun for me. And I got new mics. So I hope everyone loves the mic. I love the mic. Okay. Kisses. Salutations. Have a wonderful day.